Bonjour tout le monde, how are you doing today? It's Farah here, welcome back to my channel à la Parisian. Today's video is a little different. It's a story time about how I got to Paris, how I started living here. So it's a requested one, and so if you want to hear the story, you're interested to know how I got here, keep on watching. Let's get right into the video, and I hope you enjoy this one. So this is a requested video. I get asked all the time of how I came to be in Paris by you guys on my channel, and also people in real life who want to know how I got here. And the story it's actually very interesting. So I thought I would do a little different, something different today, and it's a way to let you guys know a little bit about my past, my history, how I came to be here. And like all stories, it's not always so straightforward. Let's start from the beginning. The beginning of the story starts in my childhood. I had this obsession with Europe. Actually, I'm sorry if I'm looking down, I have some notes here to prompt me to not forget little details, but I actually had a obsession with Europe since I was little, and I don't even know where this came from. I think if I can attribute it to anything, it would be number one, as my mom studied in the UK for 4 years, and she really talked about it non-stop. She would tell me stories of like it was like the best 4 years of her life in the UK, and all these adventures and all this fun stuff, all the fun people she met and everything. So that struck my curiosity. And then the second thing was when I was growing up, I was living in a joint family, and my aunt's family, so my mother's sister and her family, they used to go on annual vacations, and they used to go to Europe a lot. Well, not a lot, but they went to different places. Like I remember once they used to go to Greece, and then her and her husband, my aunt and my uncle used to go annually to London, and then her kids used to join them somewhere, and they used to go somewhere else. So this also really made me so curious, because I was living with my cousins, so I was really close to them. So when they would come back from vacations, obviously they would bring us like souvenirs sometimes, and they would have so many stories and so many cool experiences to share, and that really built my own dreams and expectations. And oh, I'd really like to see this place, it's Europe, you know. It was kind of like something that built up in my mind, like some fantasy. And when you're a child, those things can be so strong, so it's such an imprint in your mind. And so that's how it was for me. So I have them to thank for this, but also there was this, like, even if they went to other places in Asia, other places like in America, it never quite had the same pull and attraction for me as Europe. So that's a really interesting thing to notice, that I noticed about myself growing up. Also, when I was in high school, for French it's collège. When I was in high school, I had a geography class, and in this geography class I had to pick like one country in which to do like to research and to kind of pull up facts and to do a presentation on. Guess which country I picked? Give you 1 second. It was France. So I had a obsession between France and Italy, to be honest, and I decided to pick France. And so what you had to do, you had to research like a few facts about this country, make a big presentation, and also make a food of the country. So gâteau de chocolat, just a normal chocolate cake, or was it like a chocolate mousse, like one of the two, but something. And it was, I remember it being so terribly sweet that I could not eat it myself, but the guys in my class, they absolutely loved it and they finished it off. So I guess the cake was a success. But what the main thing was, it was such a pleasure for me to learn more about France, and I remember being so proud and happy to do this presentation. So something has always been there, you know, about this place, like ever since I was growing up and I was little. So it's so interesting to notice. So it's always been in my mind. Then life happens and plans change. I never actually got to go to Europe, despite my mom talking to me about her wanting to bring me to the UK, and then us planning to take the Euro train or a bus over to France. We really wanted to do that, but it never happened. Life went on, things happened. Not going to get into the details of that, but in 2015 I was back living in Bangkok. I was back living in Bangkok, and a really good friend of mine was going to visit his family in-laws in the Netherlands, and I was just I think just a year or a year and a half out of my divorce, and so I decided that this would be a fantastic trip. I always wanted to go to Europe, and why not take this opportunity? So I said yes, and we planned the whole thing. And while being there, I decided to hop on over to Munich, Germany, where my best friend Nat lives, Natasha. Hello Nat, if you're watching, sending you kisses and love. And yes, my best friend, and she lived there. So I love the Netherlands. I love that experience. It was such a good first introduction to Europe, and like the chilled out vibes of the Netherlands, the Dutch people. It was a perfect first introduction. Then I went on to Munich, which is more what, in my mind, a representation of a European lifestyle was, and I really enjoyed my time there. We went to parks. There's this gorgeous garden over there. It's called like the English Garten. I don't know the proper name, sorry, excuse me, people who are from Munich, but it's like this gorgeous, huge park. There's this river called the Isar. So I went with my son, and it was my first trip with him, like on my own, like a solo or semi-solo trip, because the first part I was with my friend, so he helped me tons with Isa. The second part I was alone, but it was such a lovely experience, and it gave me, within 5 days of being there, I told her that I'm going to move to Europe. Like, it's set, my mind is set, it's made up, and I'm going to do whatever I can to move here. I really knew that this was the place I wanted to be. This was the continent I wanted to be. I loved the lifestyle. It resonated with me. So back in Bangkok, I really enjoyed my life there. It was very, very comfortable, and I'm very grateful to this day for all the comforts I received there. But I always felt, since I was young, that Bangkok never really fed my soul, and it didn't inspire me. So I was always looking for places to travel to escape to, and when I started working and finding a career path, and it happened to be in fashion, I kind of felt that, like, to be a creative in Bangkok, you know, it can be hard to make it because of the, not lack of opportunities, but limited opportunities. And there are people there making it for sure, and there are people there who are inspired to be there. But I just wasn't one of them. It was never my city. And then when I had my son Isa, I felt even more that I wanted to raise him in a different environment. An environment where there could be parks around me, where I could walk in the streets with my child or children now. And yeah, so I had already made up my mind prior to moving there that it was going to happen. So here's what happens next. So I decided I was going to move to Europe the next year. So I did all my research during this year. I was doing planning, I was working on myself, I was developing my career, my newfound joy in YouTube. I actually started a YouTube channel the end of 2015. I started a YouTube channel. So yes, it was a lot of things were happening. The beginning of 2016 was it was when all things like started to come to head. So I met this man who was French, and we started going out. In the summer I had plans to go to Europe to discover other cities in Europe, to solidify my plans to move to Europe. So I wanted to travel around to see what other cities were there, and not just, set my sights on Munich and then just move there without doing all the research. So that's why I wanted to travel a bit, and he invited me to come to Paris because that's where he was from and his family was here and everything. So he was coming back for the summer, and I was like, okay, why not? Paris is a great city in Europe to visit. It was actually originally not even on my list. I don't know why, but I had chosen more like Spain, Italy, that kind of region. I wanted to go, I don't know, more south of Germany, I guess. But it was a great option. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's see Paris, and so I ended up coming here, and yeah, and then the end of that summer, so we traveled around a few places, and the end of that summer we found out that we're pregnant, and that's how I had Adam. Fast forward 1 year, I had Adam. Then this is where everything speeds up. A lot of things happened after I had Adam, which it was almost like the universe conspired to speed up my timeline, to speed up my plans to come to Paris, to live in Europe, which I'm so thankful for, because now I'm here, and I've been here 3 years, almost 3 years in July, and I'm just so thankful to be here. It's the place for me, without a doubt. I love living in Paris, I love being in France, and yeah, I love everything about it, the culture, the language, the way of life. It all fits in my career. So good for my boys. So yeah, the moral of the story, if there's a moral, is like we had actually made plans after having Adam, after conceiving Adam, that we would eventually move to Paris, because I had told him that Bangkok is not the place I wanted to raise Isa, and that's why I had plans to move to Europe anyway. So we decided, yeah, why not? Why not live in Paris at first? And we'll see after that. So the plan was to move here, but just wait a little while to let Adam grow, get a little more stable in my business, because I was gearing up to start my career in fashion and wanted to create my own business and everything, which has continued on after coming here. So but things happened that sped up this timeline, and it just showed me that I need to, not wait and to come here right away. It was almost like I was plucked from Bangkok and put here it was exactly like that. Me and Isa were plucked from Bangkok and put here, and so for the better. And at the time, such a whirlwind to plan everything so quickly and do everything so quickly, move so quickly. I didn't have any previous experience speaking French. The most I knew when I came here was Bonjour, ça va, is what my mom taught me, and that's it. So from doing that, I didn't even have time to plan or think, just did it. And yeah, so I think, yeah, the moral of the story is that, you know, sometimes you plan things, but it's always the best to go with the flow of life. Sometimes things happen, and it's not exactly what you planned or how you foresaw how things are going to be, but they end up working out so much better than you could ever imagine, ever believe, ever think that they could happen. And I have learned that huge lesson from this story in my life, and I just wanted to share it with you today because I thought that also let you know about me, but also to share with you the moral of the story. And a lot of things always happen in life, unexpected things, and we feel that they can be, you know, at the time like really traumatic and something really just like out of control. And the best thing to do is try your best to go with the flow and not push against what's happening. I really learned this huge lesson from that, and I just wanted to share it with you today. So with that, my friends, I'm going to end my story time here. I hope you enjoyed hearing my story of how I got to Paris, and let me know in the comments what you think. Have you ever wanted to move somewhere? Did you move somewhere? What was your journey like? I would love to hear your stories too, so let me know what you think of this and share a little story with me too if you feel like it. And yeah, give this video a big thumbs up if you like it and you're on this journey with me. It just shows me that you're enjoying my content. That makes me so happy, because this channel is for you guys, and I love knowing that you're enjoying what I'm putting out there. So let me know. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe if you like Paris content, fashion, things like that. I'm a fashion stylist and consultant in Paris. So with that, I'm going to wish you all a very beautiful day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in my next video. À la prochaine fois. Bisous, ciao.